I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why women want to be in a love story. Well, have you ever wondered why women are the ones that buy all those sappy relationship, or I should say romance novels that are in the grocery stores, those thick things that are like 2 inches long, and they just scour over these things, the knight in shining armor, the tension, the sexual tension that builds between two characters, and because women are emotional beings, they're driven by their emotions, and as far as a relationship goes, it's like obviously us guys, we're visual creatures. We see a beautiful girl, and we're thinking, hey, it should be perfect wife. Our kids will be beautiful. We'll have lots of fun, even though he hasn't talked to her yet. But a woman might look at a guy and say, wow, he's very attractive. However, women fall in love through their ears. In other words, they want to know that you're interested in who they are, not just looking at them like, wow, a hot piece of ass. I got something I want to stick in there. They want somebody that's not only desires them, but who's actually sincerely interested in who they are. And as far as the love story goes, think about it this way, because everything I talk about is that you got to give women space to build attention. It's why when you get a phone number, you're not calling her that afternoon or the next day, or you're just blowing her phone up to try to do something. Because if you're a busy, successful man, you get a phone number. This is the kind of thing that happens to you all the time. And you're probably dating a lot of different women and just having fun. And you probably got other women that are calling you, wanting to hang out and hook up that you've hooked up with. And so you're trying to fit them in the schedule. And then you're meeting new girls all the time. And sometimes you're just fucking busy. You're looking, you want to fall in love as well. And that's just the way it is. And for women, they just imagine and they envision that just someplace, whether in the grocery store or at a concert or walking down the street, and then they make eye contact with a guy, and then they start smiling at each other, and then he comes over and starts talking to her, and he starts asking her questions because obviously he's fascinated by her. And whereas every other guy that she talks to or looks at is staring at her tits or staring at her ass, or basically looking at her as like a piece of meat that he wants to tackle and have his way with. This guy comes over and introduces himself and starts talking to her, and goes through the motions of what's your name. She'll say my name's Janet. Well, it's nice to meet you, Janet. And she'll go, well, what's your name? Well, my name's George. It's like, hey, it's nice to meet you, George. And he'll be like, you have a great smile. You just seem like a really friendly person. I had to come over and say hello to you and see what you're like. So tell me about yourself. What do you do, Janet? It's like, oh, I'm a hairdresser. Or, oh, I have my own business. Or I'm an internet entrepreneur. Or I sell cosmetics. Or I'm an advertising exec or account exec. Whatever it is. And so they start talking, and he's like, hey, would you like to go over here and have a drink? And so they go and they sit down, and maybe they're, she's supposed to meet some girlfriends later, but it's like, that's not for 3 or 4 hours. She's like, just one glass of wine. And, after all, it is Saturday, and, it is my day off. And so the guy invites her, and they sit down, and, they have a glass of wine, and it's just fascinating conversation. And he's so mysterious because he's asking questions because he's fascinated by her, but, she starts to think to herself at some point in the conversation, like, wow, I'm being very selfish. I haven't done all the talking. I've just been talking his poor guy's ear off for the whole hour, and he must be getting, and she's thinking he must be getting bored with me, or I need to, and then she's like, I don't know anything about him. He's so mysterious, and he's so interesting, and that's what the weird thing is. This is what women are thinking. It's like, he's so interesting, and you have such a great personality, but it's like he's not doing anything. He's not even talking. He's simply asking her questions, and she's regurgitating, because human beings, we love to brag about ourselves. We love to talk about ourselves. And when we meet another human being that wants to know what we're about and where we're from, where we grew up, whatever it happens to be, we're like, wow, that's interesting. No shit. Really? That happened to you? And that's the kind of responses the guy says. And then she starts asking what he does. And, of course, he's doing something he's really passionate about and he loves. And so when she talks to him, it's exciting because he lights up and he's successful at it. And he sounds like he has a fabulous lifestyle, and so she's thinking, wow, if I could hang out with him or I could be around him, I'd have a great, fun, fabulous lifestyle just like he does too, and this would just be great, and you're having such a great time. He's like, well, I got some errands I'm supposed to run today, and I'm going to but you know what? You wanna go across town, and there's this great little place that I'm really hungry. We can grab a bite to eat. She's like, sure, that sounds great. And so he goes. He opens the car door. He's a total gentleman. She gets in the car. This dude's a total stranger, but yet because he's been sitting there talking to her for almost an hour, and she's been doing all the talking, he talks to her just like any one of her best girlfriends or her best friends or somebody that she's known for 20 years would. What happens when you see somebody that you like and you haven't seen in a while? How you been? What are you up to? What have you been up to? It's like, oh my God, really? That happened? And you're excited to see each other, and this is what happens. And these guys are so focused on, what do I say? What do I say? It's like you don't see a fucking thing. You start asking her questions and getting to know her, because that's going to communicate to her that you're interested in who she is. And so as you're talking, and she finds herself kind of bumping into you as you're walking together, and then maybe when he opens the car door, he just leans in and gives her they have a nice sweet kiss, maybe a little hint of tongue. And then they hop in a car and they go someplace and they have this just amazing 2-hour lunch conversation. And then he happens to live kind of close. And he's like, well, hey, you want to grab a suit and we just go chill out by the pool, where I live? He's like, well, that sounds great. And they run by her place, and she grabs a swimming suit, and then they hop in the car, they go back to his place, he changes, and they go up to the pool deck, and then they're hanging out, and, then one thing leads to another, and then they're making out, and then they're having sex in the kitchen, and in the bedroom, and it's just all wrapped up, and then, she's telling her girlfriends the next day about all this, and she's like, oh my, and they're like, you slept with him on the first, like, oh yeah, he was so different, I couldn't resist him, and it was just amazing. And they're like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. And, this is what women want to be involved in, and it's a very simple process. And I'm telling you this story, but I'm interjecting a lot of techniques and things about what you do that I teach from my book, so you can see the flow and how that has an effect on her. And when she's really attracted to you from the get-go, and you're really attracted to her, and there's a connection, and you know exactly what to say because you've done it so many times with so many other women before you ever got to meet her, because repetition is the mother of skill, and you practiced after all, things go smooth as silk like they're supposed to. And she gets wrapped up in your little love story together. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going to the Wibia toolbar at the bottom of the screen if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located on the bottom of your screen in the Wibia toolbar. And if you have a question that you want to ask me or a topic that you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen and send me 3 or 4 paragraphs max detailing your situation. You just got to give me several days to get back to you the response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers. But be patient, and I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the best way is to book a paid phone coaching session with me personally by clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.